Adedeji. We will be going through the headlines of the news stories first. The explosion of pagers all over Lebanon, an attack towards Hezbollah members. The whole city went through evacuation as floods took over. 7 people died for wildfires. High-degree weather covers Europe. A Frenchman admitted he is a rapist like the others, accused of mass rape on wife. More justification on importation. 950 naira per litre of petrol from Dangote refinery in Nigeria. In sport, will Glasgow be counted as the last chance or an avenue for Commonwealth? We'll return shortly with the details of the news stories. The details of the news. The explosion of pagers all over Lebanon at an attack towards Hezbollah members. As reported, the Iran-backed Lebanese group of militants Hezbollah sustained serious injuries on Tuesday in an attack projected towards their pagers, a Lebanese security source told the news agency. The health minister of Lebanon asked for the discard of the pagers owned by the Lebanese with a warning for their hospitals to be highly conscious. According to a report, multiple explosions occurred in the southern suburb of Beirut, in Dania. Israel gave no comment on the attack, though it has been in strikes with Hezbollah over months. As reported, the ambassador of Iran to Lebanon, Mojtaba Amani, was among those that sustained injuries in the pager explosion on Tuesday, as the semi-official of the news outlet of Iran relayed. In the release by the Lebanon Minister of Health, and as reported, the workers in the health sector are summoned to immediate work to attend to the large number of the injured people who were on transfer to different hospitals as the aftermath of the pager explosions. In view of those that will need blood transfusion, capable people were asked to donate. The whole city went through evacuation as floods took over. 7 people died for wildfires. High-degree weather covers Europe. According to report, the whole land of Europe has been covered with a high-degree weather as the rivers were given out the signals to leave their boundaries in the central part of Europe after the torrential rainfall and the wildfires which traveled through Portugal. By record and as reported, 7 people had been killed by the fire in Portugal since past 3 days. 3 firefighters joined the toll as their vehicle were aflame on Tuesday. Altogether, 70 people have died in what the authorities described as the worst flood coming into the Central and Eastern Europe, taking the account of past several years. As stated in the report, the evacuation of all 44,000 people living in Poland has been ordered by their mayor of Nysa, as water level increases and the river in their city rises to resort to more flooded situations. According to report, Gresco's Cross-Scale from Nia gave the account of rescuers and residents passing through the water in sandbags through the river's banks. This was ongoing overnight into Tuesday morning, so the water wouldn't break banks. As reported, people arranged themselves in lines to pass the bags, and as stated by Cross on Tuesday, helicopter was at the scene to as well take big bags to sustain the war all through night until the morning, around 4 to 5 o'clock. Evacuation of people, pregnant women inclusive, was also carried out at the city hospital at the time it closed down due to flooding, and those living in Nysa were asked to leave, but the rescuers and those helpers trying to stop the water flow were still on ground. As expected and reported, the rainfall should have subsided by Tuesday, but according to the officials, people should receive the warning as the water level still remains high and this could be destructive to life. The Axis of Poland border and Czech Republic have the emergency services by engaging the helicopter to rescue those in Ladek, Soskut town, bringing out those trapped in their houses. A French man admitted he is a rapist on wife. As reported, the man by the name Dominic Pellicot accepted the accusation of drugging his own wife and bringing in many unknown men to the wife to rape her, an occurrence that had been on for close to 10 years. French court after admitting the accusation has been true. He said he is indeed a rapist. According to report, the court hearing of Pellicot is a spectacular criminal trial in French country happening in recent time. Due to his poor state of health, the trial was delayed. He was charged with different acts like rape, gang rape, and breach of privacy exhibited in recording and spreading sexual images. As stated in the report, Pellicot communicated through the means of microphone at his appearing in court on Tuesday morning, and this was justified by his lawyer, who pleaded with the court that he should be granted a break in order for him to lie down all through. He begged the wife, his children, and the grandchildren to forgive him of the act. As in the report, the case brought shock on the country, and also it has stirred up protest among people, so the wife, Giselle, full support and the protest to be used as a tool to stand against sexual violence. In the plea of Pellicot to the court, he said he had a hard upbringing and also a victim of rape. According to him, he sometimes cried due to his experience, as the French media stated. The wife, Giselle Pellicot, also appeared in court, and while going out of the court, she was applauded for her courage, according to report. She asked for a public trial to expose her husband and the other men brought in for the unlawful act of rape, which has humiliated her and made her an object of ridicule and sexual violence. Giselle mentioned, as reported, she lived with her husband for 50 years, not knowing it was with the idea of rape. She proceeded with filing a divorce case after a meeting with those investigating the matter. Pellicot, as stated in the report, was still with a beam of hope that he could win back his wife. He was earlier arrested for filming up a skirt of a woman in a supermarket and found with the act of a website intercourse with his wife while recording it. In Nigeria, more justification on importation, 950 naira per litre of petrol from Dangote refinery. According to report, popularly known as petrol, as a product from Dangote Petroleum Refinery, circulated by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited since Monday, may bring justification on its importation into the country, as the oil marketers stated. The dealers in oil also released a statement as reported. Vessels of imported petrol will start coming into Nigeria by Tuesday, and they asked that Dangote Refinery should be transparent in tagging the product with price from the refinery. As reported, the role of NNPC to solely distribute the product from the $20 billion refinery at Lekki was described as a non-perfect one by the organized private sector. They further stated that the healthy competition is a necessary tool, and NNPC is not creating a room to this. Earlier this week, as reported, NNPC made the announcement of the various price tags as the product will be sold in different parts of the country. In the north, it will be sold at 1,000 naira per litre, according to NNPC spokesperson. As released in the report, in Borno, Abuja, Sokoto, Kano, and some other parts, petrol will cost 1,019 naira per litre, going by the September 2024 market price. As reported in Oyo, Rivers, and in other southern parts, it will be sold at 960 naira per litre. Chance or an avenue for Commonwealth? As in the sport report going through in year 2017, a former actor as James Bond, Sassian Connery, wrote to each member of the Commonwealth Games Federation delegates, CGF, the reason behind the choice of the largest city of Scotland instead of Abuja, Nigeria. As stated in the report, another person of his own class, Sir Steve Redgrave, who was the first athlete in Britain who won the 5 Olympic golds, backed him up on this. For 2014 Games, a large campaign was launched by not less than 1.5 million people concerning who emerge as the host for the event. As reported, 2026 Games have not secured so much campaign as regarding its host. Glasgow has not too many support, but it is with the personal choice of hosting the event for what it stands to benefit in the whole thing. Victoria was to have the 2026 edition of the closing ceremony at Birmingham. It was later dropped within a year. According to report, the budget for the game is very high, as stated by State Premier Daniel Andrews. No wonder the competition on hosting the game is non-existent. Its description of the game is a demand of every cost input but giving no output in return. He further said, if allowed to make a decision in this kind of situation, dropping the idea of hosting the games is a simple one. He was of the opinion, as reported, Glasgow may think of having a good financial power, aside from United Kingdom funds having to pour through combined funds of CGF and that of Victoria. Before we end Nimrod Radio World News, a sharp look at the headlines again. The explosion of pages all over Lebanon and the whole city went through evacuation as floods took over. 7 people died for wildfires. High-degree weather covers Europe. A French man admitted he is a rapist like the others accused of mass rape on wife. More justification and importation. 950 naira per litre of petrol from Dangote Refinery in Nigeria. Thank you for watching Nimrod Radio World News today. My name is Bimpe Esan Adedeji. Have a beautiful day all through.